Also on the fraud end, speaking of California.
Oh. Yes.
Trust me. They're going through the California fraud right now, but North Carolina also just reported, now this is going to shock you. North Carolina just reported a 47,000% increase in autism billings in 4 years.
Wow.
In 4 years.
Did you say 47,000%?
47,000% in 4 years. Now let's just try that. How does that even work?
I think? I don't know, but
47,000.
I think that feel like that RFK Jr. and whoever's running Doge, Elon Musk or whoever, should have a foot race to see who can get there to investigate this.
Well,
first.
Nick Shirley's over. Welcome, everyone, to the Wildly Opinionated News Hour, Todd's World. I'm Todd, always here. Carrie, my lovely co-host, always in the building, provided her computer lets her.
I know. I almost wasn't here, but I'm here. Thank you for your patience.
She made it. So it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother. You know what, guys? You're going to get this a week after Mother's Day. We record on Saturday and Sunday. And then it comes out. Wildly Opinionated News Hour comes out on Tuesday. And Beers with Jesus, which is where we just kind of go through the Bible stories. Right now we're going through Genesis. That comes out Wednesdays. And then ToddsWorld.net is where you have all the books, all the merch. You should go grab some books. Great. Anyway, that's the plug. So... And if you're on Apple, we'd really appreciate you giving us 5 stars. Yeah. Listen, I wanted to play you something, and this is not, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. It's just, I happened to see this, this advertisement for an Israeli company that's helping, what's it say? It's in Texas. It's partnering with Texas and building a desalination plant. So in other words, they're taking ocean water, because the Israelis are experts at this. And actually, maybe I won't. Let me do this. I want to be able to read it a little bit. So it's a $1 billion U.S.-Israel partnership. It's bringing Israeli desalination technology to Texas to solve America's water crisis. Because especially out west... And in the Southwest, they're struggling. They've had a drought, and of course, California won't fill up its reservoirs because it'll kill some, like spider, some certain breed of who knows. But the point is that not everywhere in America is like Michigan, which is surrounded by these massive Great Lakes full of fresh water. So
true.
So Texas now is pulling in, and they're using desalination techniques. Let's see what it looks like as it's running here. And they're partnering with Israel. And I just thought it was kind of cool. Like, Israel's taken a lot of heat lately in a lot of areas of the right-wing, podcast sphere. And I think this is kind of cool. It's kind of cool that they're out there helping.
This looks like AI. What is with the... going
it
up,
may be
AI
for all I know. I mean, right now maybe that they're working on it, building it, you know what I mean, and that it's not actively running yet. But I thought that was kind of interesting, and it makes sense.
Interesting.
Makes sense. Of course, they have it all over in the Middle East because they don't have tons of water.
Okay, I was gonna say they're doing this over there, and but they're talking about
doing it in Texas.
Here? Is that...
Israel is partnering with Texas companies and sharing their desalination technology. So I just thought that's kind of interesting. They get a lot of rap about how everybody hates Israel and they're controlling our politics and they're doing this and they're doing that. And I think, well, it looks like they're decent partners sometimes too. Perhaps we should see the other side of the coin once in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So anyway, I thought that was interesting. Do you know who who Spencer Pratt is, or only because I just mentioned him to you earlier?
Okay. Yes, I know who Spencer Pratt is.
You do?
I do. After you mentioned him, I was like, "Oh, I remember seeing the name because I just saw this week that he was just, like, roasting California current leadership."
He is running for mayor of Los Angeles.
Of Los Angeles, that's right.
Yes, and I gotta tell you, I didn't exactly know who he was, but I
Okay.
don't watch reality TV ever, and I never
Yeah,
have.
I didn't know him before this. I just happened to see him on the news this week.
But when I showed his picture to Nikki, she recognized him. Like, she was like, "Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I do recognize him." So,
From
he's on The
Garbage TV?
Hills. He was
Yes.
married to Heidi Montag, who I guess is another reality star. I don't even know who
I don't
she
know.
is. I couldn't pick her
Nope.
out of a lineup, honestly. But his parents lost their home in the
Oh.
Palisades fire, and I think
Oh,
he lost
no.
his
Okay.
home in the Palisades fire too. And so he
Okay.
decided to run for mayor of Los Angeles, and he has
Okay.
been pounding. Karen Bass is the mayor. Remember her? The older black lady who left for Ghana as soon as the
Left
fire
town,
started.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. And someone was questioning, like, "Don't you think you should be," and she just wasn't responding. She wasn't
Right.
saying anything, right?
Yeah.
That was her?
hmm
So she's the current mayor
So
of
she's the
LA.
current mayor of Los Angeles, and
Okay.
I want to go through a couple. I've got a couple I want to play a couple of the advertisements that Spencer Pratt is
Yes.
running, because I just
Okay.
think this is a fabulous model for the rest of the country on how to deal with leftists. Because mind you, I don't know if there's a city more far gone than LA, an American city.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it's right up there in the running. I'm sure
Yep.
not a state more far gone than California, I don't think.
I agree. This
So
election is coming up this November.
let's watch this. This
Oh,
is a
boy.
Spencer Pratt advertisement running for mayor of Los Angeles.
Okay.
Turns out it's a lot easier to fight fires when there's water in the reservoirs. We're even allowed to arrest criminals now with handcuffs and everything.
It's morning again in
I don't
LA.
have to wonder anymore whether I just stepped in human shit or dog shit. So that's nice.
I only see needles in the hospital now. Who knew it could be this way?
I love going to the park now that it's not an open drug market.
Okay, who here is willing to admit that common sense actually turned out to be good?
I feel safe walking her. She's definitely having a Pratt summer.
Who's having a Pratt summer?
Nice.
LA is worth saving, it says. So
Wow.
guys, that was all. For those of you who aren't watching, and the show of course is on YouTube. I noticed Spotify isn't playing videos now of the show, because I took the hosting off Spotify and changed it to Riverside, our platform. And I don't know what that is, but you can still get it on X, on YouTube, wherever in its video form. So, Substack. But anyway, for those of you not watching the video, it was sunshine, it was clean streets, it was morning again in LA, I think is the way to think about it. And
Right.
what'd you think about that ad, Carrie?
Well, I think he's really okay, so you said he's been on reality TV.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's just taking like that whole persona. I don't know what he did on reality TV, but he's definitely got like this, I know how to speak to the masses, and definitely appealing to a younger crowd
Yeah.
with the approach. Definitely. Like,
He's
it
very
looks like
media.
a music festival.
He
Yeah,
certainly
media.
seems media savvy, right?
Right. Yep.
Here's another one. These are about 1 minute.
Makes me want to
commercials.
visit LA. That's what that looks like.
Now let's see this one.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yo, Spencer Pratt, heels to the streets.
These people do not want a bed. They want fentanyl or supermen.
It's all to see. California, Hope stays a scam. Homeless funds vanish. They don't give a damn. California fried. Hope stays a scam. Homeless funds vanish. They don't give a damn.
So guys, this has the music background, but it's all these pictures of tent cities in LA, the homeless, the drug markets. It's Karen Bass buddying up with Gavin Newsom. This is and this entire episode or ad is black and white, real dark looking, right, Carrie? So this is what we saw before is Spencer Pratt's vision of what LA can become, and now we're seeing the dark vision of what it is. Is that fair?
Yeah, totally. Oh my god,
pretty good music.
I love it. Briefcases of money.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Zombies and shopping carts.
Clean it up or watch it burn.
Yeah, you had zombies on the streets of LA.
The Harbor Freeway tomorrow with her, and we can find some of these people she's going to offer treatment for. She's going to get stabbed in the neck.
That's what I saw. That's what I saw. Oh.
What do you think? He's pretty good, right?
I think that's brilliant. I mean, it's showy. It's definitely like kind of propaganda-ish, but I'm telling you, like they need to like smack everyone across the face with how bad it is. That makes me want to go vote in LA for him.
You wouldn't be the only one crossing the state lines to vote.
Right?
There's a whole industry. Okay.
Or the border for that matter. Okay.
Here is we're gonna go to what's his name? Jesse Waters on Fox News. How could I not know Jesse Waters' name? And he's going to talk about Spencer Pratt. He's going to talk to Spencer Pratt just a little bit. So I thought this was interesting. So we watched the two ads. There's a lot more ads out there. Everybody's talking about how his ads are just destroying Karen Bass. And from the two we saw, I would say that they are. They're pretty effective. I was
going to ask how are the attitudes around him?
I don't know. Let's hear that's kind of what this is about. Let's hear what Jesse and Spencer have to say.
The star might be the man Mamala needs. Pratt's driving the California comeback, and his trailer is the hottest ticket in Tinseltown.
This is your home.
This is my forward operating base.
This catastrophic event really galvanized him into running for this office.
I'm confident I'm probably going to win with 51% on June 2nd because I don't do a political message. I just want to fix our streets, get the lights on. I want people to feel safe. My message isn't political. It's common sense.
Pratt's a breath of fresh air in the Hollywood Hills.
Do you think you have an actual shot, and how and why? I mean, it seems that the odds are stacked against you.
Yeah, thankfully, all my supporters in Los Angeles are Democrats. Everyone I know, my family, are all Democrats. The Democrats all are behind me. It's just the socialists and the communists that don't back me.
He might not have all the experience, but he's got hope. And we all know how far hope can go.
I mean, look at Obama. He was a community organizer. I've won 2 community advocate awards from mine. Nobody thought, why can Obama become a senator? And then the president, he had no experience running the whole entire country, which is way bigger than LA. So when people have passion and they care and they have common sense and they have humility to know, I don't know everything, but what I do know is all these very smart, successful people in Los Angeles want to get around me, get behind me.
Victor Davis Hans is a senior fellow at
We don't have the whole Victor quote or clip, so.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, what do you think?
You know, well, it didn't even occur to me that here he is running in LA and he's doing a very polished, glitzy, Hollywood produced sort of ad campaign. I didn't even think of that. It makes sense.
Sorry.
It makes sense there.
Can you hear that or no?
Oh.
I didn't mean to do that. Good.
That's okay. I could just hear you.
I thought I had a way to get a cough button on my keyboard, and that wasn't the button.
Oh, it wasn't.
That one wasn't it, guys. You got to hear the cough in. So anyway, yeah.
I was just saying his polished ad campaign is fitting for LA is what I was going to say.
Well, and you wonder, you're not used to Republicans bringing up Obama as an example.
Right.
But
As an example.
maybe it works in LA. Maybe you need a different breed of Republican. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Maybe he's like saying, I'm not about the politics and the party. I'm about the city and making it nice.
Yeah.
Making it great again. You know?
Well,
that's really interesting.
So let's keep an eye on Spencer Pratt. So I think the June 2nd election, I think, is a primary election. So
Yep.
he'd be running against a bunch of Republicans to decide who then will go on in the November election to face Karen in her bass. So
go Spencer. Good luck.
Also on the fraud end, speaking of California.
Oh. Yes.
Trust me. They're going through the California fraud right now, but North Carolina also just reported. Now this is going to shock you. North Carolina just reported a 47,000% increase in autism billings in 4 years.
Wow.
In 4 years.
Did you say 47,000%?
47,000% in 4 years. Now let's just try that. How does that even work?
I think? I don't know, but
47,000.
I feel like that RFK Jr. and whoever's, running Doge, Elon Musk or whoever, should have a foot race to see who can get there to investigate this.
Well,
first.
Nick Shirley's over there, although I saw a clip from Nick. It was, in fact, I think it was his buddy. Remember the old guy who's kind of goes around with Nick Shirley to the Quality Learning Center and stuff? You had Nick Shirley, who's a young guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he had his older dude that would kind of, it was the older dude who was pointing this out to Kayleigh McEnany when I saw the clip about the 47,000%. I just didn't feel like playing the whole clip. But, and then there's more fraud going on out there. I'm sure this will shock everybody. Remember our old friend, John Solomon, who keeps saying accountability is coming.
Yes.
And he's been right about some of it. Accountability does seem like it's on the increase, thank God. Here he is.
Yeah.
And this is talking about the 2020 election. That's still out there. I think that we tend to think, well, maybe they just gave up on all that. On all the fraud. Maybe they're just moving on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we think that because the media wants us to think that is what I think.
Right.
Because they're up to their eyeballs in it.
And people either believe it or they don't. Like, it doesn't matter what comes out. So
let's listen to John Solomon. I'm not sure who the guy is that he's talking to, or I would tell you.
I don't think it's Amanda Head.
No, it's not Amanda Head. I'm not sure who it is.
All right. So we have a lot of evidence now that the government went from creating a fake Russia collusion investigation to harm Donald Trump's reelection campaigns to, when he's president now, depriving him of actionable intelligence because they didn't want to help him out. Tell us what we've learned from these new documents from Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah. So we knew already that that intelligence analysts and intelligence officers inside the IC in 2020 had sought to downplay or conceal entirely what China was trying to do to influence the election.
So they're talking about during the 2020 election. And what they're claiming, and as he gets into it, we're going to hear, but Tulsi Gabbard has released or declassified or whatever, a bunch of information. And what it shows is that intelligence officials, when he says within the IC, he's talking about within the intelligence community, that within the entire intelligence apparatus between the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, that there was a coordinated effort to hide information from Trump and Congress, is what they're going to tell you.
Wow.
With China attempting to undermine Trump's candidacy. And we know that from an investigation that was done into that these intelligence officers, intelligence analysts were trying to downplay the intelligence that they had about what China was doing because they, one, didn't want to inadvertently help Trump administration policies towards China, and two, because they didn't want to inadvertently help Trump's reelection campaign. And we're learning even more now about some of the information, evidence, and intelligence that the IC had in 2020 that was hidden from the president, including by allegedly editing and watering down PDBs, presidential daily briefings, evidence that was allegedly concealed from Congress, so from congressional oversight and not informing congressional leaders, and of course, information that was hidden from the American public. And now some of this information now, thanks to our work and some declassifications from DNI Gabbard, some of this is now public, but a lot of it still isn't 6 years later.
Excuse me, guys. That was Jerry Dunleavy, who is a correspondent, I guess, for Just the News, which is John Solomon's organization, reporting.
So, okay, I was going to ask you when we finished that if this is in his first term, and there he said right at the end, he kind of answered my question.
So during the 2020 election campaign, President Trump is obviously the president, and the intelligence, his own intelligence agencies were withholding or watering down information to him about China interfering with the election. They were doing the same thing to Congress. And I gotta tell you, there's enough rumors that I hear that it makes me think we're getting ready to see some. I really think we're getting ready to see some accountability. What do you think, Carrie?
I mean, I would think so, because it's one thing to undermine an individual, in the public eye. It's another thing when it comes to the security of an entire nation. I'm pretty
Are you amazed
shocked by
a
this.
little? Are you shocked by the arrogance of these bureaucrats? Essentially, essentially,
Yeah,
they've
what about
decided
you?
that
'Cause this is
they know more than the American people. They're going to protect the American electorate from itself. I mean, isn't that what they're doing?
Yep.
Like, we're not going to give the president that you elected all of the information because we know better. We know he doesn't deserve it. We
Right.
know you rubes out there are just too stupid to elect the right person.
Right.
I mean,
it's pretty offensive. It is. I feel like it's hard to offend us on this show, but that's pretty offensive. What do you think?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
runs
isn't
all.
that?
I think it runs all through. I think that was the Biden the 4 years of the auto pen administration boiled down to it was a giant middle finger to the American public, and you saw the American public respond even against all odds. God only knows how much cheating there was in the 2024 election. The voter rolls. I just read something that said that it could be that, according to the Supreme Court, or maybe it was something that was presented to the Supreme Court as evidence, but 1 in 8 people on America's voter rolls could be dead, could be illegal aliens, could just be a false
1 in 8
voter. 1 in 8. So against all of that, we responded by electing Donald Trump to take out the deep state. And maybe he's going to do it. I hope.
Wow. Dang. It's a big job.
It is.
If it's that arrogant, it's a big job.
We could have some accountability.
This is John Solomon again. And here he's talking about the Democratic, I think they're congressmen, in other words, United States representatives, that were leaking to the press classified information about Tulsi Gabbard, and they could be on the hook for a criminal investigation. Well, they are in the midst of a criminal investigation. Indictments have not been, I don't think, handed down, but let's hear what he has to say.
We have confirmed that the FBI has opened a criminal investigation into whether Democrats on the Senate Intelligence Committee were leaking classified information, specifically a National Security Agency intercept that mentioned Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. This is highly classified stuff. It showed up in the New York Times a year ago. The NSA, according to our sources, referred the matter to the FBI. Last summer, it didn't get to the director. They kept it from the director. When he found out, when Cash Patel found out a few weeks ago, he opened up a criminal investigation. It appears to be steaming towards a conclusion. We could have some accountability or at least some resolution of this in the next few weeks. That's just one of the many stories to go check out at justthenews.com.
So they leaked info about Tulsi Gabbard, classified information. Same thing. I mean, they don't give a damn about the American people. It's complete and utter arrogance by bureaucrats.
I was going to say, is it about her? Is it about like the work that she's doing? Like,
yeah, I mean,
okay.
So trying to undermine her, trying to damage her. But did you notice it said
they're just everywhere?
The FBI kept that information from Cash Patel, the director. And
no, I didn't notice.
That's what he said. He said that it made it to the New York Times last summer. The Department of Justice said they were going to refer it to the FBI, which they did. The FBI, but that never made it to the director level, to Cash Patel. And he just got wind of it within the last few weeks or month and started a criminal investigation of these senators.
Okay. I heard that part about a couple of weeks ago, that it came to his attention, but I didn't realize that it had been. I mean, how would you not find out about it?
I don't know.
How would you not find out about it, like, through somebody?
I thought that too. I don't know.
Like, is that intentional? Is it like, we're only gonna, I don't know. I don't get it.
I didn't get that either, other than how much bureaucracy and bureaucratic red tape is there in the FBI? And if for whatever reason it didn't get to it didn't make it into Cash Patel's, the New York Times thing didn't really make it into his, whatever he was looking at, or his attention, then I guess it could kind of disappear. I guess it did. Maybe that just tells you how much is out there that they're trying to clean up right now. Like, they can't even keep track. They don't know what's what. There's just, and I think that has been part of the system too, is that they've just decided to. This is Cash, by the way. They just decided to overwhelm the system. Once the fraud and once the grift got to a certain level, the answer is you can't really stop it. And so you can ramp it up and try to overrun any kind of systems of any kind of accountability that are still left. You know what I mean? And I think that's essentially what they've done, what the deep state has done.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got something that's such, I guess you have to pick your battles. You can't do everything. Kind of like, with the border being open, it was causing it had this ripple effect and was causing different, problems on all kinds of areas. But first thing we had to do was, close the border.
Right.
So maybe
stop the bleeding first, and then
stop the bleeding. So I don't know. Yeah. Where do these guys begin? Because it's probably not that obvious as the border. Shoot.
Here's Cash talking about a grand conspiracy case, though. This is pretty.
We are not
with Maria Bartiromo. Is that her name, right?
Yeah.
Bartiromo.
Bartolomo.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Some kind of Italian, I think.
To take this and have not taken this laying down. We did already indict former Director Comey, and that's going through the judicial process. But we also, at this FBI, even though we uncovered what we uncovered back in the House Intel days, I had to come in here and find rooms that they hid from the world. I had to come in here and find access on our computer systems in restricted and prohibited case files that they purposely put in places for no one to see and find. We have found all this information. We are working with our Department of Justice partners, and I am never going to let this go, because they not only have personally attacked the presidency of the United States and President Trump, but they tried to thwart our elections and rig the entire system. And that is not something that is going to stop. That is not something I'm going to allow on my watch. But you just have to remember, they built this disease temple over 20 and 30 years. We've got all the evidence. I can announce on your show that we've got all the information we need. We're working with our prosecutors at the Department of Justice and their Attorney General Todd Blanche, and we are going to be making arrests, and it's coming. And I promise you, it's coming soon.
Well, Cash, hold on, because when you started this interview, you said, Maria, you and I have been working together for a long time, and this is exactly what you were referring to. You were on my show repeatedly talking about the Russia collusion story, and our audience wants to know why there's never any accountability. But specifically, the question that I asked you was about election integrity and whether or not you have any information to verify what President Trump says all the time, which is the election was rigged. That's what I asked you, Cash.
I'm sorry, Maria, I misheard. Yes. So what we are doing is folding that into our entire conspiracy case, and we will let the prosecution speak for him. But we have the information that backs President Trump's claim. But because it's an ongoing prosecution investigation, I can't get ahead of the DOJ and the president. But President Trump speaks truthfully when he says that, and that's what I've been telling you about. When we find terabytes of data on computers from the last 10 years that we were supposed to find 10 years ago. That's what it took. It took his reelection. It took this FBI to go in there and find it. And it takes a long time to get through that material. But I would say stay tuned this week. You might see a thing or two.
Whoa. So it sounds like maybe they spent the last year just digging up bones, like Randy Travis says. Right?
Does he have a song? Does he have a song like that?
Yeah.
Oh my!
How do you not know digging up bones, Gary?
I don't recognize that title, but I love.
Anyway,
I love Randy Travis. I don't recognize that. Oh my gosh, those guys, man! Just this job is huge. It's so much. It's just so much more than we even imagined.
That's what it sounds like. So maybe the first year where we were getting so annoyed with Pam Bondi and her, don't you worry. I'm going to go on Fox News and they're going to answer for what they did.
And I've got the binders on my desk to prove it.
Maybe Trump just stuck Pam Bondi into place for a year. Just hold the line. Go on Fox News, take the incoming, do whatever you can, and give these guys time to find the cases and make the cases. And then we're going to turn it over to the serious people. And you will have done your job, Pam. Don't worry, you'll be honored in the Trump kingdom. You know what I mean?
Well, I was going to say, I wonder how someone is compensated for that, just that awkward. If that's the case, how's someone compensated for that?
I don't know, but it does make it
really
seem
look like an idiot.
It makes it kind of seem like it, right? Like they're starting now Todd Blanche is in there and things are starting to move and things are starting to get done.
Okay.
This was did you see in the Democrat, it was a Democrat state senator. Her name was in Virginia. Her name was Louise Lucas. And the FBI raided her entire operation this week. There's Medicare billing, all kinds of things.
Oh, I don't know this.
You'd be shocked.
Where's this? Virginia?
Virginia. I'm going to share. I got a story for you. We'll watch a little bit of it. Let's see if this is a good summary. There she is. I know nobody out there can believe that there would be an African-American politician engaged in fraud, but apparently in Virginia, that may have happened. Usually they're above it all, but apparently even the non-whites occasionally engage in white-type behavior.
Oh, dear.
Federal agents arresting people in that string of FBI raids across Virginia. This is all connected to an influential Democrat in the Commonwealth of Virginia, State Senator Louise Lucas. They are at her office executing warrants as a part of a major corruption probe. So I want to go back now to Alex Hogan, who's there. Alex.
Hi, Harris. So you can still see that the FBI are behind me. We've been seeing them throughout the morning, bringing boxes in and out. They also told staff members they needed to leave the building. We heard some of those employees coming out saying that they were told that they were not allowed back inside. I do want to give you some context of where we are. The FBI not only arriving here at this location, but also at the dispensary, the cannabis dispensary just across the parking lot. And this is a look at what it
I think Democrats are giving cannabis a bad name. Apparently it works really well. You know, these states approve these cannabis dispensaries, but then because the federal government still has things listed as drugs, none of these cannabis dispensaries can actually have bank accounts. So it becomes an all cash business. And do you know that Democrats know really well how to use all cash businesses? They've mastered the art.
Looked like earlier today with the FBI agents arriving, SWAT teams getting out of their vehicles with weapons, telling people inside that cannabis dispensary to put their hands up and to come outside. At least 3 people were taken into custody. Federal law enforcement say that they're carrying out these court-authorized criminal search warrants at more than 10 locations across the state. Again, this is the state senator Louise Lucas's office behind me, but we're also learning that she is connected to this dispensary here. Senator Lucas is President pro tem, meaning she's one of the highest and most powerful figures in the entire state legislature. And when she arrived here, I asked her about being here as the FBI raided these locations. Take a listen.
She's shocked.
I don't know what's going on. I just came from another report. I'm just gonna wait until they tell me.
I didn't do nothing. That's not my cash in the freezer.
So again, dozens of members of the FBI arriving here and being here throughout the last hour, taking boxes of documents we could imagine from the office behind me. They're also still at this cannabis dispensary. We have seen the senator circle around a couple times in her vehicle. Clearly, as we heard her say in that comment,
Scared
that
out
she
of her
doesn't
mind.
know why they're here. A lot of questions for the people in the community who are coming out taking pictures, wondering again what their senator could potentially be involved with as we're waiting to hear more information.
Oh, I'm sure she's innocent. I'm sure it says it's all just a giant misunderstanding.
This just makes me think of Tulsa King. Have you ever watched Tulsa King?
I haven't. No, but that's Stallone, right?
So
One
Sylvester
of Taylor
Stallone,
Sheridan's shows.
Yeah, first business he really like takes under his control is a dispensary. And yeah, they end up just having, whenever he needs it, he just goes and grabs like stacks of cash out of the back whenever he needs it. And I feel like that's what Miss what's her name?
What was her name?
The
Louise
senator there.
I already
Louise,
scrolled
yes.
by her.
That's what
Where is
Miss
she?
Louise goes and she's
Louise
like,
Lucas.
Louise Lucas. Senator Lucas, I just feel like, yeah, she just pops in when she needs a little extra spending cash. Going to
big
the
deal.
beach house this weekend. I'm gonna
You know, in Michigan, we've got 2 or 3 new, either election type or their government fraud cases, all surrounded around the Democrats: Gretchen Whitmer, Dana Nessel,
Really?
the Secretary of State. Yeah, it's all over the
Are there
place.
some?
You know, I will say that I'm shocked. It seems to be like government, like fraud is built into good governance. Good government.
Yeah, are you
If you think of it as good
are you shocked, Todd?
it's weird that when you confiscate other people's money, that you're not all that careful with how you spend it. Isn't that
Awesome.
interesting?
I love the idea of this. I mean, seriously, like I kind of got excited. I'm imagining this corrupt this office building full of like politicians and just them showing up and being like, wait outside, just taking stuff. I love it. Go do it. They should
It's
just do it
fabulous,
everywhere.
right? I think they're getting. I think
Forget
they're getting
search
started.
warrants, man. Just go.
You know what I
Forget
wonder?
search warrants. Head on in.
You look at the Iran war. You look at $5 gas, none of which I like. But Trump doesn't seem bothered. He does keep telling us, don't worry, gas is going to drop. You know what I will say? This is interesting. I have a client that I'm working with, and she's involved with management at like gas stations. When I say management, she doesn't manage a gas station, like higher up than that. You know what I mean? Chains. And she made the comment to me that gas prices are all political. She said, you know, the price of oil, if you look at the price of a barrel of oil, it's the same as it was. I don't remember what she told me, if it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and gas was $2.64.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why are we getting like hosed over this?
Yeah. But what I wanted to say is I wonder if part of the reason that Trump doesn't seem all that worried is because he knows what's coming, and he knows you can think that the midterm looks bad all you want. Wait till you see all these corruption probes I open up from between now and then. You're gonna
So.
be
I'm sorry, he doesn't have
amazed.
long. He
I
doesn't have
know.
long because not only does it have to come out, they then also need time to respond to all of the misrepresentation in the mainstream media.
Well, not necessarily. They just need it.
Some convincing is going to have to happen.
Well, you could have it where they just come out. They start to come out in rapid fire, and just the sheer volume of it begins to reinforce, because, mind you, in the American people's mind, they already believe that their government's full of shit. They already think their government's lying to them, stealing from them, and about the most corrupt thing. Now, if you vote for Democrats, you might think that about Republicans, and if you vote Republicans, you might think that about Democrats. But all you really need to do is take that underlying sentiment that's in all of us, and you need to throw enough mud at the wall that that all it does is say, "Holy cow, this party's insane," and they're corrupt. And the Republicans are bad too, but at least it seems like they're trying to do something to clean it up. You know what I mean? It's not.
Well, it's a very optimistic view, but you think just if it's enough of it, it will just be undeniable. Okay. But who's gonna foster that shift? The mainstream media is not gonna foster that. That's what I'm saying.
But
we don't have 1 million listeners yet. So guys, share this.
Here's what happens. What happens if Obama's indicted? You think that'll cause a ripple?
I just think everyone will be like,
or do you think that'd be Civil War time?
Yeah, I think people will just believe that Trump is, politicizing and going after political opponents and distract. You know what I mean? Because there are people who think like he was just a god.
If you saw what happened with, by the way, remember how the Virginia, in Virginia, they just had a vote and they were going to go from a 6-5 Democrat to Republican to a 10-1 map.
10-1,
that got thrown out by their Supreme Court.
Yes, thank God.
Because they didn't follow any of the rules. But that was the Virginia State Supreme Court. At the same time, the United States Supreme Court dropped racial gerrymandering things, and so far I think the Republicans have gained 12 seats. States are like throwing the brakes on redistricting, doing exactly. They're like, if we have a racial district, we're gonna change it to comply with the United States. With the Constitution, because it's unconstitutional.
Right. Did you see what our governor did in Florida?
They already rammed it through, didn't they? They got.
Yep.
Did they gain 4?
Something.
I think
it
Republicans
was good.
gained 4. Yeah.
It was good, whatever it was.
DeSantis is always on the cutting edge. I will say that. I hope that, like I've said this before, I hope that I'd love to see Ron DeSantis. I'd love to see Ron DeSantis on the Supreme Court. I don't know if he'd want it. Maybe he's a little too action oriented for the Supreme Court, but God, he'd be so good for a long time.
He would, but you're right. He is action oriented, and Supreme
Court
is
like
kind of like the long, slow game.
He'd be a hell of an attorney general. He's just, there's a lot of things in the future that I think we need Ron DeSantis heavily involved in, because I think he's one of our best and our brightest.
Who's been all of a sudden I'm just seeing him, and I think it's just because our White House press secretary just had a baby, so they're rotating other figures up at the podium.
Marco came in, didn't he?
Marco Rubio.
You love some Marco.
I just haven't thought about him in a lot.
I like Marco.
I like him, but man, watching him speak, and this week, I meant to try to send you a clip of it, but someone asked him, "What is your hope for America?" And his response was so amazing and succinct.
I did see that. I didn't save it, but I did see it. Not for any particular reason that I didn't.
Yeah, it's just he just seems like it seems like maybe it's a better time for him now. I know I've been Team Vance, but after watching Rubio this week, I'm kind of like, I think I'd vote for Rubio before Vance.
Really? Look at
I would.
Kerry. Well, to be
That's how I
fair,
feel right now.
he's a fellow Floridian.
He is, but he's also like, I mean, he's also his parents are from Cuba. He just, I don't know. He's doing a great job as Secretary of State, I
He
think.
really is. I
And
mean, he's doing a phenomenal job. You can't.
So my
to
mom
see
said
him
that
grow has been amazing.
Yeah. She said that he is holding down multiple positions right now, and I didn't realize that.
He is. I'm trying to remember because they've got those memes going around where now Marco's like they have him dressed up like the Martian from Looney Tunes. Now Marco's in charge of Mars.
Oh, that's funny.
But that is the joke, is that I can't remember what the various things are, but Trump has had some of his more effective cabinet people just kind of take over temporarily some other areas. And I know she's right, and I can't remember what it is that Marco is doing right now. I think he's functionally president of Venezuela, maybe. But
oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love it. I want, he should have a little Venezuelan flag on his lapel, like, our politicians in DC
maybe you
love
call him
having
the vice president of Venezuela if Trump's president.
Venezuela.
Right? So.
What I really like is the way he backs Trump. Sometimes when people like affirm things that Trump has said, they just sound, I don't know. I'm not going to say this very eloquently, but I just feel like sometimes it sounds like they're just saying it. They're
they
just
don't
saying
really
it to
buy it.
Be supportive. They're just saying it because of course they're going to support him publicly. With Marco Rubio, I just feel like he's literally 100% behind him. Like seems like a real mutual.
It seems like Marco has bought in
now.
Yeah, he has bought in 100%. I think on MAGA and Trump is what it seems like. I agree with you.
Yeah, he just seems. Let's see here. He's also serving as the acting national security advisor.
Okay.
And Secretary of State, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. Additional roles, something else. Oh, he's also acting administrator of USAID and acting archivist or something. Yeah, he's doing a bunch of stuff.
I forgot about USAID. Let's listen to Elon quick.
This is seen Elon in a while.
This is a 30-second clip where they ask him what's going on with the increasing or the increase we seem to see in political violence and in violence and people trying to kill Trump. You know what I mean? The whole thing.
Oh, wow. Before you play it,
go ahead.
Can we just say, maybe it's the hairstyle? Doesn't he look younger all of a sudden?
Yeah, he does a little bit.
Why
maybe.
is Elon Musk looking a little
He
younger?
probably got a little sleep that night. He usually gets like an hour and a half of sleep. Maybe he got 2.
Can you imagine? So bad.
That dude is something else. Okay. He really is.
He's fascinating.
I think they're getting desperate because, I mean, the reason we're seeing this extreme amount of hatred and violence is because we're actually succeeding in getting rid of corruption and waste. If we weren't succeeding in getting rid of corruption and waste, they wouldn't care. But we are succeeding. Thanks. Without President Trump, this would be impossible. So I'd just like to say, it's only possible with this president.
Maybe that was back in his Doge days. That almost seems like it was.
Oh, do you feel like it's older?
I'm not sure. That wouldn't have been that old. I mean, it would have only been like a year old, but
yeah, I mean, let's see. How many times has his life been attempted?
But he's 100% right about the fact that if Trump wasn't effective, they wouldn't be trying to kill him. And not just Trump, but I mean, in general, that's why they resort to political violence,
Right.
So,
right.
Did you see Tucker Carlson? There was an interview Tucker Carlson did with the New York Times, and they asked him about him calling Trump the Antichrist. Did you see any of this or no?
I did. I saw a clip of this and him denying having said this.
It's the wildest denial. Like, I don't know. Here's Scott Jennings.
Yeah.
He kind of gives
little interpretation.
Yeah, his the chick who's interviewing Tucker, he admits is a friend of his. Lulu, I think, is her name. I'm trying to start this half-ass in the middle. It's kind of a long thing, so I'm trying to start closer to the Tucker question that they're going to show.
Israel or the Jews or what have you. Seems to me it has to be one or the other. Are you a supernatural evil being, or are you some weak hostage or slave to other people? I don't think you could be both.
Well, I forgot that Tucker in the same interview said that Trump has a supernatural quality about him where like you can't refuse him. It was something like that. Tucker's really gone a little off the rails. You're like, God, ever since he fought with that one demon once, that he was like, did you hear about that?
Yeah, what happened? No, I just know he
has a story where he fought with demons and he thought it was a dream, and he woke up and he had scratches all over his back.
Damn.
I don't know about Tucker.
I mean, hey. I mean, that shit happens. I believe that, but
you've had it? I never had it happen. But
I mean, well, no. I mean, I haven't either, but I mean, I've heard of people claiming this happens. That's oof. Okay.
Let's hear what Scott has to say.
I want you to listen to this exchange with Lulu. Here's the question. She calls Tucker out about this idea of wondering aloud about Trump being the Antichrist. Hear Tucker deny it. Cut number 8.
You've been talking on your show about whether Trump is the Antichrist.
I have not said that.
On your show, the day after Easter, you noted he did not put his hand on the Bible during his swearing-in ceremony as president. You said, and I'm quoting, maybe he didn't put his hand on the Bible because he affirmatively rejects what's inside that book. And then on a recent show, you went further saying, here's a leader who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods, and exalting himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist?
I actually did not say, could this be the Antichrist?
Okay, you heard Tucker deny it when presented with direct evidence by Lulu Garcia. He denied it in the room. And if you watch the video, by the way, he looks her dead in the eye and denies it. Well, let's see what happens next. Here is evidence that Lulu brought up and read to Tucker.
Why? I don't understand why this Lulu chick has like her dad's old herringbone jacket on while she's interviewing Tucker. Am I just not the style guru that I thought?
She looks like she has a very particular look.
And she has she has her dad's glasses on too. Like, what is going on, Lulu?
She kind of looks like she reminds me of, this is such a throwback, such of old like Ganto's like mannequin in the mall. Do you remember that woman's store in the 70s?
I don't think I went in it much, but I remember it. All right, Lulu.
In its actual audio and video form. Cut number 9.
Cut number 9.
Here's a leader who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods, and exalting himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist? Well, who knows?
I don't know where that comes from, but I know that those words never left my lips because I'm not sure I fully understand what the Antichrist is. If there's just one, I actually tried to understand it. I may have said some are asking that. I'm not weighing in on that because I don't understand it.
So what you heard there was...
So Tucker just flat out said, I don't know where that video came from, but I never said that.
Okay,
the thing is, I remember that clip going around social media of him saying it. Like,
do you?
It wasn't a shock to me.
I want to hear the beginning of it. I want to hear the beginning of it because it could very well be that he said some question or some wonder, whatever, and sometime before that, before that sequence. I'm just saying it's possible. I'd like to see that a broader source for that.
Hold on. I'm going to share it one more time. Let's go back and let's just listen to what we know he said that he never said it. So he starts out saying that. So now let's watch the clip she plays as proof one more time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's in the clip and we missed it. I'm saying it could have been before this recording.
You think so?
Go ahead.
Let's just hear
it could have been. It would make sense. Okay.
Cut number 9.
Here's a leader who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods, and exalting himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist?
Now, that would have to be one hell of a... Are you saying that he said before that? Maybe some people are saying this. Is that what you're saying?
I'm
so in other
saying
words,
that that's
he's kind of
possible.
quote talking other people, like quote asking, like some people are saying this, and then he's going to reply to it.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Sure. I do want to say one thing that definitely makes one question how realistic and honest he's being, and that is, this is not a long time ago. When she said Easter, I was like, oh, I wonder when this was. This is this year. This is less than a month ago.
Yeah.
This is 3 weeks ago. So it's like, okay.
I remember that. Like I said, I remember this episode. I remember him doing it.
Wow.
I remember it popping across X, and that's why I think most people on the right did, and they're like, when they saw this, they're like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you didn't like? And then to accuse her of, I didn't do that. That's not me. Like that is a level of, I mean, I hate the term gaslighting, but I mean, that's kind of what it is.
Oh my gosh, it really is. It really is.
I just am, I don't know what's going on with Tucker these days. He seems to be,
I
don't know if he's going to be a full-on Democrat come election time. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. You know what I mean?
Is Tucker Carlson, is he a Christian?
Yeah, he claims to be.
He claims to be. Okay.
More of a mainstream, maybe Presbyterian or something. He claims he's read the Bible lately, and just in the past year or two, he seems to have be coming around that way and asking a lot of questions that way.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Wow.
As far as I know, if you're a Christian, Pastor Darrell, you support Trump. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, we're an hour in. We were going to call it an hour, guys, but I want to play this one.
Do you have
quick.
any? Yeah, you've got more to play.
A little. I mean,
I messed up the whole timeline with my.
I could keep going. Oh, shoot.
Camera swapping and whatnot.
What happened? Quit it.
Oh.
Breaking. Former Attorney General Bill Barr says his biggest regret is not prosecuting Obama.
Wow.
President Trump's former Attorney General William Barr, who served as AG during Trump's first term, said in a recent interview that his biggest regret during his time as America's top cop is not bringing charges against disgraced former President Barack Obama. Quote, we had all of the evidence that serious, unprecedented crimes were committed. He essentially engaged in a coup against his predecessor. I just didn't think that would be a good precedent to set, criminally charging a former president of the United States. After seeing what they did to President Trump, I now have strong regrets about not charging Obama, who committed actual crimes. So, at least Bill's sorry.
Do you feel?
At least he said sorry. Sorry, guys.
Thanks, Bill. Todd, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about prosecuting a former president?
Well, I understand that we don't want to turn America into a banana republic, but if you don't have any accountability, then you also enable someone like Obama to come in, or like the auto pen, like the Biden family, and just gut the system and just weaponize everything. And mind you, for the people who don't want Obama held accountable, Obama didn't hold the same view about the grandmas that just happened to be at Washington, D.C. during J6. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that there may have been a time for that sentiment, but we've crossed that Rubicon. Like, when your enemy, now it's war. It's war. God declared a state of war between Trump and Obama.
Did he?
Some beers with Jesus for you guys. Last week, the fall. It was really good.
Ooh, yeah. Check it out.
So,
oh my gosh. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it, but at the same time, I look at this and think, if there are, like, I don't think we should just do it because Trump shouldn't just do it because he doesn't like
right,
Obama.
100%. There's either
or
crime
for any sort of a revenge or whatever. But yes,
if there's
there
real evidence of serious crimes against the American people, then yeah, you should bring it, and the American people should see
I
it.
agree.
So
I agree.
The last thing I
And I
want to
don't
play.
say that lightly.
No, I
I don't
don't
say it
either.
lightly. It's a hard thing to it's a hard
And
pill
I
to
still don't know
swallow.
if anybody will do it. I suspect that in the end, we might get some high, some kind of advisors or whatever, but I don't know if we're ever going to quite get there. But we'll see.
Ooh, what's this?
This chick, I want to hear what you know what she is talking about. She's talking about the failure of institutions that parallels at the exact same time the feminization of institutions. So I want you to hear what
Okay.
she has to say. See what you think.
Okay.
Men, when they're approaching a moral question, will ask, what are the facts? What are the rules? Whereas women will say, what are the relationships at play here? How can we make everybody happy? How can we reach an outcome that will satisfy all the parties? As opposed to the male perspective of how do we reach an outcome that is just and according to the rules. That sounded a lot like wokeness to me. And the sort of piece that made it all click into place for me was the coincidence of timing. It is the case, just we can all agree as a matter of fact, that a lot of institutions that went woke or were affected by wokeness became demographically female in the last 5 years. Law schools in America turned majority female in 2016, and they've gotten a little bit more female every year since then. I think now it stands at 55, 50%.
Whoops. So what do you think, Carrie? So she's saying that
I didn't know that.
it's the increasing amount of women in charge of these institutions that are causing them to go woke. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I would need like a little bit more.
Yeah.
I need a little bit more evidence to comment on that, but I agree with her.
Does it make some
about
sense as she's as you're thinking about
Sure.
it?
I mean, what makes sense is how men approach a conflict, how women approach a conflict. I'm watching it. I'm watching it happen right now with some friends of mine, a husband and wife. Yep, I'm watching them try to deal with a situation where their young son was shoved by an adult man at in their neighborhood. They've been advised by the police to file the report.
Okay.
The man is like, or I should say, the woman is like, everybody's fine. We don't want to ruin this guy's life. She kind of doesn't want to disrupt anyone's life over it, and is kind of projecting onto this person, like this sense of what kind of man he is. The man, the husband and father, is saying, we don't know anything about this guy. For all we know, he may have done this before. Like, we don't know. And if he gets away with it, is he then good? So I see it's kind of like, we don't know anything about him, very logical, whatever. And she's worried she's projecting a lot of emotion into it, trying to be compassionate, and because everybody's fine.
If you were to extrapolate that out onto an institutional wide framework, can you see do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you see
yeah.
how it would cause some issues?
Right. Well, I'm sorry, like so many of these social justice issues come from, well, like empathy, from an empathetic perspective, from a compassionate perspective, like extend, when we look at an illegal here in the country, it's like, wow, like where'd they come from? And it's hard. And I even feel that way. It's like, where'd they come from? Why? How hard was it?
How long have they been here?
Right. I mean, exactly. And yeah. So I get it. So a lot of those social justice issues are affected, and we've talked a lot about emotions versus facts.
You know what else
I
I
mean,
wonder?
it's good to remember humanity, but you
100%.
also have to remember the law. Yeah.
What I always thought was that when you had men mostly in leadership at most places, and that in the right kind of relationships, in the right kind of marriages, in most marriages, I'm going to say, I don't know whether they're the right kind or not, but in a lot of marriages, certainly the wife is influencing the husband's vote. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, even if I think back to the old Ashley Baptist days and my dad being my dad and Will's dad going back and forth as chairman of the deacon board, the idea only men could be deacons, of course. The idea that my mom's opinions never got represented through my dad is crazy. Like,
oh yeah,
like certainly
sure.
she was turning the ship a little, even if he's at the wheel, she's turning him, I think, a little. Do you know what I mean?
Behind every great man, right?
And I'm not even saying that's bad. My only point is that it worked. But then once I'm not so sure it goes the other way around. I don't know. You might know more than I do. I don't know if I've got a big empowered chick up there who is married to a guy who maybe doesn't have the strongest opinions. And in other words, I'm not sure that she's that those super strong chicks, I'm not sure that they're kind of mellowed by anything. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it just depends.
And a lot of them are
and I guess,
single. A lot of them are single.
well, yeah, I was going to say it depends on the relationship, and you could say that about the men in leadership as well. It
Lindsey
depends on the
Graham.
relationship.
I
But
mean, if he'd have had a wife, she'd have never been like, you should go out there with your bubble wand.
borrow my bubble wand.
Get some pictures taken with the kids.
Is that woman who's speaking is about the percentage of women? Is she talking about attendance in law school? Like
yes.
Law students?
Yes.
Okay. So she's not just talking about like,
no, she's saying attendance.
Legal
they become majority female.
Gotcha. But
Helen Andrews is her name. I don't know a lot about her other than that.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Anyway, I just thought it was something.
And I think both sides need a little bit of the other, You know,
that reminds me of what we talked about in Beers with Jesus last week.
Okay.
Remember, we talked about part of God telling the woman that you're gonna love your husband, but he's gonna lord it over you. And we talked about the enmity between men and women and how that finds its source, its beginnings
origins
in the fall. And and yeah, I think that we're living in a fallen world. And so anyway, guys, you should check that out tomorrow. Check out Beers with Jesus.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't. This week we're talking Genesis 4, which is the story of Cain and Abel. Which I'm excited about. I think it'll be good. So
okay.
I've enjoyed Genesis. I thought Genesis was. What do you think, Carrie?
I'm already getting so much out of it. It's fun sounds like a weird word, but it really is. It's fun to just, it's fun to read it this way, dive into it with you because we're not preaching, for those of you who haven't checked it out yet, we're not preaching. We're just discussing the story. We're kind of picking it apart and understanding it as how it's relevant to us today. It's interesting.
We're trying to understand.
I like it.
How God's trying to reveal himself through the stories he's telling. And he's telling this story about the beginning and what is he trying to get? What is he trying to tell us? And so that's kind of what we're doing. So anyway, guys, I I love it. Come back next week. Follow us if you haven't subscribed. We'd love to hear what you think. So if you want to comment, send comments on any of the platforms, whatever you want to do. But yeah, we'd love to hear what you think. We'd love to hear you respond to the Beers with Jesus stuff we're talking about. Maybe you have some opinions on women in leadership at these institutions. Maybe you have some more clips. You can find me at Todd Allen, it's Todd's World 23 on X. I use X for all my clips. If you want to send me some clips that you think that we're missing or some things that we need to talk about or that maybe tie in with what we're talking about, send away, man. I'm interested to see whatever you have.
That's a good idea.
And log into toddsworld.net and buy a book. Read a story. They're pretty fabulous. Any of them.
They are
Pick one. Insurrection's great. Witness is great. Do you know, Carrie, did I tell you that I just pulled out I have the beginning kind of four episodes or chapters of Witness 2. And
Season
I finally
2.
printed them off and I gave them to Nikki and I said, it's been a while. Look at this and just tell me what you think. I usually do not do that. But I was like, I want to get back into this.
Cool. So is she looking it over?
She's supposed to be. I haven't heard back.
Nice. Okay.
She's not very prompt.
She's like, man, I hear him talking all day. Now I got to read from it. No, it's great. I look forward to it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me, Carrie. We'll be back tomorrow with beers, guys. Catch us next week. Just follow us, whatever. Tell your friends, get some clips, and come back next week. All right. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.